4 high schools, 7 middle schools, 1 college, and a university, and much more. Now introducing your most comprehensive weekly local sports show in Madison County, the Richmond Register Sports Show. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. Wynn's Auto Detailing Service. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Here's your host for all things local sports, the Richmond Register sports editor, Nathan Hutchison.
Welcome into this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. My name is Nathan Hutchinson. I'm the sports editor of the Richmond Register, and appreciate you guys tuning in this week. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to talk with the state champion Madison Central dance team. They won the Palm Division at the KHSAA State Championships last Sunday over in Winchester, late last Sunday after we did this show last Sunday. It was about 7 o'clock when that thing finally wrapped up. But Mary Margaret and her young ladies were nice enough to let us come over. I think it was Thursday we went over and talked to them. And so you're going to hear from all of them. So that was very nice of them to make them available to us. And we talked to the seniors and a lot of the girls. So hang on for that, and you'll get that segment coming up here in just a few minutes. But before we get into the weekly recap, the way we always like to start the show, a couple of little notes, though. We will not have a live show next week, with next week falling obviously on Christmas Day. We won't have a new show next week. We're going to try to throw together some kind of a clip show or a best of show for you, so you have something to do if you're sitting around Christmas night bored and stuffed from all that food and all the candy and everything. So we'll try to get you something. And of course, as you can tell, we're not in the studio this week. We're here at the palatial Richmond Register Studios here on Big Hill Avenue. Randy's still dealing with recovering from his situation, so he is producing this, so it'll actually look a little better. All week long I did the nightly updates by myself, and it just doesn't look the same without Randy's fancy graphics and all that stuff. So, so we are here in the studio, but good to have Randy back, even in a limited capacity. And I asked him if he wanted to come on and say hello, but he didn't want to do that. So that's okay, but that's all right. Enough of all that stuff. Let's start off the show the way we always start off the show, with the week that was in Madison County sports. And it was kind of rivalry week here in Madison County, and boys hoops, girls hoops, and swimming as well. We had a lot of Madison Central, Madison Southern matchups. And we'll start off with boys hoops on Friday night. And of course, we all know last February, Madison Southern beat Madison Central in the championship game of the boys' 44th district tournament. And on Friday night, the teams met for the first time since then. And the Indians were looking for a little payback, and they got it. Madison Central 79, Madison Southern 59. Jalen Davis, 29 points, 8 rebounds. Hagen Harrison, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Robbie Todd, 19 points and 10 rebounds. Madison Central 46.8% from the field, only had 8 turnovers. Jay Rose with 29 points and 9 rebounds for Madison Southern. But it was really this game really. It was a 20-point win, but it really wasn't that much of a disparity because Madison Central outscored Madison Southern 20-9 in the fourth quarter. But it was a much closer game than that throughout. And, of course, these two teams very well could play each other again. And that would be really exciting because there was a huge crowd there at Madison Central on Friday night. It was a lot of fun. Madison Central out-rebounded Madison Southern 43-29. And it was a feel-good win for the Indians. And afterwards, we had a chance to talk to not only Coach Alan Feldhouse, but Robbie Todd, Hagen Harrison, and Jalen Davis. Madison Central High School, where the Indians have picked up a 79-59 win over Madison Southern in front of a big crowd here. Coach Alan Feldhouse, congratulations. Thanks for talking to us.
That was a good atmosphere. That's one of the bigger crowds we've had in here in a long time. So that's always exciting for the kids, for the fans too, for the student sections. They probably have more fun than the players do. The student sections do.
Yeah, well, I know you guys always looking ahead, not looking back, but it's had to be still a little sweet. Getting another shot at them.
I think
you guys aren't motivated by revenge or payback or any of that stuff.
Some of the things we've been working on defensively, it was better. It was better. We didn't do as much gambling. Good position defense. I mean, Jay had 29, but he had to work. And most of the time, we had a hand right there. I'm not going to say a word if we just played good, disciplined position defense. And I think tonight they only had 7 offensive rebounds compared to 21 on Tuesday night. So we did take that to heart, and that's what I like as a coach. That's what you like when you see the guys respond to what we need to be working on. And our offense, I keep telling, I don't worry about our offense because we have some guys who can score. And it's going to depend on how well we guard. I thought that was a step in the right direction.
Yeah, since the second half of the Ballard game, the last 2 games have been great offensively.
They have been. Sharing the basketball, not unselfish. Hagen's been much better running the show. And that's what we got to have. I mean, dang, we don't have to rely on one person. We got a lot of people that can do it offensively.
Yeah. Jay Rose gave them a bit of a boost there in the third quarter. They got back to 4 a couple times. You guys never panicked.
We wanted to press. Really, we wanted to press in the first half, but Jaden picked up those 2 fouls when he got the technicals, so we couldn't really put it on the second half. So once they made that little run, I really liked it. We took the ball to the rim and scored 3 layups and got us back some cushion. Then we turned the heat on with our 1-2-1-1 press and created some havoc there. You got Jalen and Jaden and Hagen, all 3 up front. They can do some business on some people on that.
I heard at Madison Central High School where the Indians have picked up a win over Madison Southern. We got Hagen Harrison, Robbie Todd, and Jalen Davis. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
I'll ask you the same question I asked Coach. I mean, obviously, you guys are looking forward. You're not looking back, but still had to be pretty sweet to beat them after they beat you last year in the district championship game. Robbie, Jalen?
Yeah, I mean, we took that to heart. Obviously, we were really upset about that last year. It was a big game. We went into it. We see ourselves as a favorite. I think we just choked that game. And it was good for us to get revenge out here on our home court.
Jalen?
Yeah, like he said, we took it to heart. I felt like after the game, we all was like, kind of sad and mad at the same time. But I'm glad that we got, another piece. Hagen helping us like on offense and defense and just assist us, get us all in the flow and our fans and stuff and helping us win that game.
Yeah, your first taste of this rivalry, man.
It was fun. The atmosphere was ridiculous. I mean, it was a lot better than I've ever been a part of. We have a good fan base and we have a lot of good teammates, and we're all there for each other. And I think that's probably pulled this thing out for our home team tonight.
Yeah, trading blows. It got back to 4 there in the third quarter a couple of times, and just kind of you guys calm, cool, collective, and no panic there.
Yeah. Well, we practice situations like that. He's all the time having the other team go against us. We're down 4, down 5, down 8 with a certain amount of time left. And in that scenario today, we were up 4. So I mean, that's nothing we ain't used to. So, especially just because of practice.
Yeah. We can't let like the fans and everything get in our head while we're like struggling. So we just gotta like focus and count on each other just to get us back in the game.
And we hold each other accountable. I mean, we all know we're special in our own way. So just do our own thing.
How many times in the past 3 days have you guys heard 21 offensive rebounds? I mean, he's been really harping on you about that, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had times a day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Taking that to heart, though, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, it had to be a pretty good feeling out there tonight for everybody.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, congratulations. We'll see you guys next time. All right. But like I said, definitely a feel-good win for the Indians. They're Central's always looking ahead, not really looking back, like I said in the videos there. But you could tell there was still a little something extra special about this one. Definitely, and no matter how many times you've won that district championship, when you lose one, it definitely has an impact. But like I said, we very well could see these 2 teams again in February as well. That could just be the precursor to another one down the stretch. But Madison Central had only one other game this week. They picked up a 93-67 win at home on Tuesday over Scott County. And in that game, Hagen Harrison had 33 points, Robbie Todd 21 points. Madison Central shot 52% from the field, but did give up 21 offensive rebounds, which, trust me, really, really got under. That was the burr under the saddle of Madison Central coach Alan Feldhouse after the game, no doubt about that. They won by 26 points, and he was very upset about those 21 offensive rebounds. So that's how coaches are, man. They want perfection, and they always striving for more. But 2 wins on the week for Madison Central move them to 4-3 on the season, and they'll be home Tuesday night against Collins. Madison Southern, in addition to the loss to Madison Central, only had one other game last week, and that was on Tuesday when they picked up an 84-73 win at home over South Laurel. That snapped a 2-game losing streak for them. It was Zach Hudson with 29 points, Braden Hudson 19 points, Jay Rose 15 points, and Ashton Hazelwood with 10 points. 3-4 on the season now for the Eagles. And of course, this coming week, they play host to the Lee's Famous Recipe Holiday Classic down there at Madison Southern, and they'll open play in that event on Wednesday against Dixie Heights. Other boys basketball action from the week. Model Lab had 2 games, both of them on the road. 1 loss, 1 win. Friday night, a 67-61 setback at Frankfort. On Saturday, a 75-48 win at Robertson County. In the game against Frankfort, they really led. The Patriots led for most of the game, but 28-14 was the difference in the fourth quarter. Frankfort outscored Model 28-14 in the fourth quarter to come back and pick up the win. Cale Vickers, 20 points. Keshav Bandari with 15 points. And in the win over Robertson County, 11 players scored for Model. Keshav Bandari with 15 points. Riley Millette with 12 points. This was still a game at the half, but then Model outscored the Black Devils 26-8 in the third quarter. 4-4 on the season now for the Patriots. They'll be back in action Tuesday versus Heritage Academy in the Berea Holiday Classic. And speaking of Berea community, a rough week for the Pirates. 3 games, 3 losses. On Tuesday, a 79-45 loss at Jackson County. And then on Friday and Saturday, they were playing in the Stockyards Bank Trust and Challenge in Moorhead. On Friday, it was a 70-49 loss to East Carter. And then on Saturday, a 73-66 loss to Elliott County. In the loss to Elliott County, Cameron Puckett, 39 points. 2-6 on the season now for the Pirates. 4 straight losses. They'll be back in action Tuesday versus Cumberland County in the Berea Holiday Classic. Girls hoops, we said it was rivalry week, and we had boys, Madison Central boys and girls on Friday, boys and girls on, and Madison Central boys on Friday. We had Madison Central girls on Thursday. That's easy for me to say, right? But Madison Southern had won 3 straight against Madison Central. The teams met on Thursday night in Richmond, and Madison Central snapped that skid with a 48-35 win over the Lady Eagles. Madison Southern was up 17-16 in the closing seconds of the second quarter. Bailey Hensley came up with a steal, went the length of the floor for a layup that gave Madison Central a 1-point lead at the half, and Madison Central never trailed again. A 10-2 run to open the second half blew things open for the Lady Indians. Hensley 17 points and 9 rebounds. Eden Carter and Natea Strader with 10 points each. And Madison Southern was led by Lacey Sandlin, who had 11 points, and Hadley French, who had 9 points. But Southern shot just 33% from the field and was 3 of 15 from 3-point range. But after the game, we had a chance to talk to, once again, a very wet Coach Scott True. It seems like every time the Lady Indians win, they get Coach and dump water all over him. But we got a chance to talk to Coach Scott True and Bailey Hensley. Here at Madison Central High School, where Lady Indians have picked up a big rivalry victory over Madison Southern. Scott True, Coach, Bailey Hensley, and Bailey, you got him again. You got him with the water. Is this you gonna do this after every win here at home?
I hope so. I hope I just perform well at home. It's important to protect our home.
Well, Coach, you wore that same shirt last time.
I did. I was told I had to do that today, so that's what I did. So,
and they waited until the end there. You probably didn't.
They did. They were very patient this time. They waited until I was done talking to get me. So it's a great win tonight. It's obviously a very tough rivalry. Very physical game tonight. I thought that we got a little sloppy in the second half, turned the ball over a little bit, but I thought we forced plenty of turnovers too. We got some transition offense, which we needed tonight because we were struggling in the half court. We shot it a lot better in the second half, and that's the difference in the game.
Yeah, Bailey, I mean, we all know they've won the last 2 district titles, and the rivalry's kind of shifted to their way, and it seemed like there was a little extra juice on your guys' side tonight.
Yes, we came out with some energy. We were the underdogs in this game, and we wanted to win.
Yeah, sending a message.
Yes.
I mean, they really couldn't stop her, Coach, though. I mean, she really kind of, when she got in there, she did what she wanted to.
Yeah, and she's really good at that, and we've got kids around her who are starting to step into scoring roles, and that's really good for us when they try to double her and take her away. We have some other kids that are scoring for us, and Tay did a good job. Eden did a really good job tonight. I thought Eden gave us a huge offensive lift in the second half, getting to the rim. I thought that was big for us because we were really struggling. Really, to start the second half, first, second possession, she gets to the rim, and we kind of relaxed a little bit. So I feel we did some growing tonight. We're still pretty young in some spots, but when you've got this one down inside for you and she's going to war for you, it helps an awful lot.
Yeah, they took the lead right there before the half, and you got that last bucket there. So walk us through that play.
I just was looking for a quick bucket to get us up before the half.
All right. Well, in addition to the win over Madison Southern on Thursday night, it was a busy week for the Lady Indians. On Monday, they went over to GRC to play a very tough Lady Cardinal team and suffered a 57-36 loss. And then they came back home on Saturday and picked up a 64-42 win at home over Great Crossing. That Great Crossing game was a very, very odd game. Madison Central played a horrible first half, was down 26-13 at the half, and then scored 51 second half points to rally for a big victory. Haley Hensley 19 points, Natea Strader with 12 points, and Madison Central now 6-1 on the season. And this week they play host to their holiday tournament, the Adams Buick GMC Hoop Fest. And on Wednesday they will take on South Oldham at noon. Madison Southern's girls came into the week undefeated. They were 6-0 on the season, but they suffered their first loss of the year on Tuesday up in Lexington. Henry Clay handed them a 55-47 loss. Hadley French 20 points, Lacey Sandlin, Tara Wooten, and Bella Moberly 7 points each. Another bad shooting night for Madison Southern, 30%. They were 3 of 13 from three-point range. Did hit 20 of 31 free throws, which kept them in the game, but still ended up with their first loss of the season. And then, of course, fell again on Thursday night to Madison Central. So 6-2 on the season. And the Lady Eagles will be competing in the Gateway Holiday Classic this week up in Mount Sterling. They start action in that event on Wednesday against Nicholas County. The Model Lab girls had just one game this week, and that was a Saturday home matchup with Eminence, and they picked up a 34-26 win to go to 3-2 on the season. Riley Hunt, 14 points, 11 rebounds. Alyssa Hudson and J.D. Balzer 6 points each. Lady Patriots missed a ton of free throws. They were 10 of 27 and only shot 30% from the field, including 0 of 3 from three-point range, but still found a way to pick up the win to move to 3-2 on the season. They won't be back in action until after Christmas. Model is set to take on Williamstown on the road on December the 28th. And what a great week it's been for the Lady Pirates of Berea community. 3 victories so far this past week. 50-35 win Tuesday at home over Dunbar. Saturday a 50-48 overtime win over Cumberland County in the Central Bank Classic up at LCA. And then on Sunday a 38-29 win over Bluegrass United up at that same tournament up in Lexington. In the win over Paul Lawrence Dunbar, Maddie King 14 points, Lauren Stepp 13 points, and the Lady Patriots shot 50% from the field. This game on Saturday against Cumberland County was crazy. Berea Community was down 16-2 after the first quarter, found a way to battle back, get it to overtime, and pick up the victory. Abby Beard with a new career-high 28 points, also had 4 rebounds. Maddie King, 9 points and 4 rebounds. Lauren Stepp, 6 points and 3 assists. 6 straight wins now for the Lady Pirates, and they'll wrap up play in the Central Bank Classic up in Lexington Monday at 3:30 versus West Carter. Moving on to college hoops, we'll start off with Berea College. The Berea College men had not played a game in 10 days before they stepped onto the court at the Seabury Center on Saturday against Midway University. And the Mountaineers had a 1-point lead at halftime, but could not hold on. Midway hit 7 3-pointers in the second half and rallied for a 77-66 win over Berea College. Isaac Cottle, 20 points and 8 rebounds. Trey Menor, 16 points, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds. And Andrew Jones with 12 points for the Mountaineers, who fall to 6-5 on the season. And afterwards, our friend Ricky Elkins had a chance to talk to Coach Austin Newton.
Coach Austin Newton of the Berea Mountaineers. It's kind of hard to get used to that from being at Madison Southern. Big loss today at the Seaburg Center. Coach, you've been off 10 days. I know the kids have had a lot of, finals and stuff. Do you think that affected your 77-66 loss today?
I think that might have had something to do with it. Second half, we just didn't play the way we wanted to play. They beat us to every loose ball. We had guys dodging charges. We love to take charges. And so our mindset in the second half went away from what we've done here over the last few weeks. So I don't know the reasoning behind that. I know a lot is asked of our student athletes here at Berea College as far as finals and academics and working a job on campus. So they have a lot on their plate and being finals week. But second half effort just wasn't where we wanted it to be.
Now, offensively, they both teams were kind of trading. You pretty much had the lead about 3/4 of the game. And then, like you said, during the second half, you kind of let up. But their three-point shooting there for a while, I don't think they missed one.
Yeah, they got number 3 for their team. When he gets it going, he really gets hot, and he got it going in the second half. And then, of course, Donnie Miller, who's their best player, had a good day, and they made big shots when they needed to. But a lot of that had to do with us just staring at good shooters and not contesting, not getting there quick enough. So at this level, if you just stare at good shooters, they're gonna make them every time.
So let's talk about what's coming up for you all. If you got a little break again, or
we actually play again Tuesday. It's a noon game time. We're really excited about this. Ferristown Middle School and Foley Middle School is bringing their whole school over on Tuesday at noon. So we're going to have about 1,000 middle school kids in here screaming for us. We're calling it a Blue Christmas. So encourage everybody to come out this Tuesday at noon for a fun game.
well, we will look forward to it, and we want to wish you the best of luck, Coach.
Thank you.
All right. Well, as you heard Coach Newton say in the interview there, the Mountaineers back in action Tuesday at home against Earlham College over at the Seabury Center, and they're going to invite a whole bunch of middle school kids. They're hoping to have 1,000 middle school kids over there on Tuesday. I'm definitely going to be there. I want to check this out. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're free Tuesday at noon, come on over and hang out. It should be a lot of fun. But 6-5 on the season now for the Mountaineers. The Lady Mountaineers of Berea College did not play this week. They'll return to action on Monday against Widener University at the Jamie L. Roberts tournament in Washington, D.C. They're 7-0 on the season. They'll play in that tournament Monday, then Tuesday, and then have some time off for the Christmas break. Moving on to EKU basketball, both the men and women had 2 games this week, and both of them picked up a win and picked up a loss. So we'll start with the men. Wednesday night up the road up I-75 with a 64-61 loss at Northern Kentucky. And they rebounded on Saturday to pick up a 67-65 win at home over Radford. In the game against Northern Kentucky, I feel like this is a common thread we've been saying a lot, but the EKU was 9 of 21 from the free throw line, and those missed free throws turned out to be very costly in a 3-point loss. But Devontae Blanton, 23 points, 6 rebounds in a game that featured 8 ties, 11 lead changes. Turner Buttry had a chance to tie the game late, but his three-pointer at the buzzer would not fall. But the Colonels are a team that's only shooting about 60% from the free throw line for the season. And a bunch of missed free throws against Western Kentucky were big in that game. And that was once again big against Northern Kentucky. So on Saturday night, though, Colonels back at home, and they snapped a 4-game losing streak against Division I opponents with that 67-65 win over Radford. Another close game. This one again had 11 lead changes and 7 ties. EKU trailed by 4 at the half, went up by 8 in the second half. But we're able to hold on late. Leland Walker, 13 points. Isaiah Cozart's first double-double as a Colonel, 11 points and 12 rebounds. And Michael Marino with 10 points. EKU 6-6 on the season, 3-6 against Division I opponents. And those 3 wins against Division I opponents have come by a combined total of 5 points. 2 wins by 2 points and 1 win by 1 point. So EKU back at home Thursday against UNC Greensboro in an afternoon game. That's a 2:00 game over at McBrayer Arena. EKU women wrapped up a 5-game road swing this week with a pair of games. Tuesday, a 76-65 loss at Boston College. And then on Sunday, an 83-62 win at Army. The game against Boston College, EKU had an early lead, but that kind of faded away late. But against Army, EKU was pretty much in control the whole way. Antoinette Walker was back in the lineup after missing some games because of an injury, and she had 22 points. Daniela Rainey, 18 points. Alice Recanati and Marissa Mankins with 12 points each. And EKU back at home on Tuesday against another non-Division I opponent, Union College. And the Colonels now sitting at 5-6 on the season. And we talked about rivalries at the beginning of the show and swimming. We had the Madison County Championships swimming on Friday night over at EKU's Alumni Coliseum, and it was Madison Central taking first place in 17 of the 22 events, and took the combined title and also took the girls title, and Model won 5 events as well and picked up the boys title. And this is kind of how this is broken down the last couple of years between Central and Model. Central usually wins the combined and the girls, and the Model usually wins the boys. But the boys was very close. Model finished with 89 points, Madison Central with 86. In the combined standings, it was Madison Central 235 points, and Model 126 points. And in the girls' standings, it was Madison Central 149 points and Madison Southern finishing second with 55 points. Multiple event winners For Madison Central, Marley Cooksey in the 200 free and the 500 free, Lena Brown in the 200 IM and the 100 fly, Emma McDowell in the 50 free and the 100 free, and Jack Voss in the 50 free and the 100 fly. And for model, it was Colin Jackson in the 200 IM and the 100 backstroke. And his victory in the 200 IM, he set a new school record in that event, a record that had stood for 18 years, since 2004, Chris Upchurch's record. So a little swimming action for you there is that all those teams will have a break heading into the holidays, and then we'll have some more swimming action in January as we head up to the regionals in February. High school wrestling season is off and running, and both Madison Central and Madison Southern putting up impressive results all across the area. We'll start with Madison Central. On Saturday, they finished third at the Warhawk Duels up at Great Crossing High School. They defeated Connor in the third place match, 53-24. They opened up the day with a loss to Frederick Douglass, but then came back to beat Simon Kenton 56-24. Great Crossing's B team 64-18, and then picked up an easy win over Raceland 66-6. And Central will be back in action at the Woodford County Invitational after Christmas. And Madison Southern's wrestling team was at the 5-star Lafayette Classic on Saturday, and they only brought 7 wrestlers with them, but still finished in 8th, picked up 95 points. And Braden Kelly and Stephen Whitehead continued their undefeated seasons. Braden Kelly at 144 picked up the title to go to 13-0 on the year. Stephen Whitehead, the title in the 285 weight class, to go to 19-0 on the season. Chris Begley finished second at 150. Elijah Curtis was 7th at 157. So good stuff to report all the way around. But that's all we got for you as far as the recap of the week that was. But hang with us, and here in a minute we're going to introduce you to the 2022 Madison Central State Champion dance team.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. Wynn's Auto Detailing Service. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
Ladies, you guys competed in 3 different categories on Sunday. Makes for a long day. Finished 4th in Jazz, 6th in Game Day. Of course, won the state championship in the Palm Division. It makes for a long day. How do you kind of keep everything straight, Carly?
Well, I think in the morning we had a practice to really focus in on everything that we were doing. And then as soon as we got there, we got our heads in the game and started listening to our coach. And as soon as we competed Jazz, we went straight into the game day mindset. And after game day awards, we were kind of brought down a little bit, but then our coach was able to talk to us and let us know that we are one team, we have one dream, and we knew that we could do it for Palm. That's how we kept going.
Yeah, 4th and 6th in the other 2 events, which most people would think is pretty good, but you guys were disappointed, I think, in placing that. So how did you guys kind of rally and get refocused for the Palmer team?
Well, whenever we were just getting ready for Palm, Riley talked to us as well as Brother Michelle, and we all just kind of tried really hard to focus and get in this Palm mindset. Yeah, we were a little down after game day, but we really wanted to focus and try as hard as we could for Palm. So we really just focused and pepped each other up.
When you guys got out there and started doing the Palm, did you feel like you were killing it? Did you kind of get that sense?
Yeah.
Is there a moment there, how long into the routine there or something to kind of click and you're like, yeah, this is going good?
Yeah.
Is there a certain moment there, or you just kind of feel it the whole way?
Well, we kind of talk to each other throughout the routine to keep each other going. So at certain points in the routine, we add in vocals to kind of just get ourselves hyped up to finish the routine and finish strong.
Yeah. Why don't you guys talk a little bit about the 3 different types of dances you guys were in there? Obviously, there are different regulations and stuff for each one. They're graded differently, so kind of break that down for us. How are the 3 different ones? Not just obviously the different styles of dance, but how they're graded as well.
Well, they're graded on your technique-wise, and then they grade on your choreography and how you show the routine, how you perform it, and really honestly just how much effort you put into your routine. Are you going as full out as you can? Are you putting in 110%? Or are you just kind of going through it? So technique, visuals, just your faces, your costumes goes into it too. It's a whole bunch of things that go into one score.
Yeah, game days obviously with very crowd interactive. And what's the focus of the Palm though? What do the judges look at in the Palm division?
Your visuals and just how sharp you're hitting your palm motions. Again, technique is a really big thing in Palm. We learn different technique for Palm, like palm technique and the way that you hit your jumps and the way that you hit your turns. So it all just goes into one big thing.
And it takes a lot of people to make this happen, so tell us about your choreographers, your coaches, and everybody that goes along with it.
So our choreographer for Palm was Bree Choreography, and Brahma Michelle helped us, and well, that's really it.
It takes your parents, it takes all kinds of people, right?
Yeah.
And there are other choreographers and stuff too, right?
Yes.
You guys bring in some of the best people in the country, right? Really help you out.
For game day, we brought in Nicole Broom to choreograph. And then for jazz, we had O'Malley. So they really gave us great choreography for the season.
All right, we are joined by Madison Central's 6 seniors. All of you guys were on the team 2 years ago that won the state championship as well, also in the Palm division. So second time around, kind of just a little bit sweeter, especially being your senior year.
Yes, it is much sweeter now that it's our senior year. We were really excited our sophomore year, but we weren't even in the gym when we got announced that we won. We were all in cars and got text message that we won. So actually being in the gym and actually hearing our name called was just a much better and sweeter experience.
When we got called that we won, it was me, Carly, and 2 other people were left in the gym when we got called. So everyone kind of just stared at us like we were just 4 people on a team because we were just screaming and crying. It was just 4 of us jumping up and down when we won. So.
Yeah, and a great scene. You come back over here Sunday night, and there must have been 100 people out there waiting for you guys. Emma Kate?
Yeah, it was super cool. We came back on a police escort on the bus, and all of our friends and family were here to support us.
Yeah, everybody's out there taking pictures and doing TikToks and having a good time. Well, like we said earlier with the other girls, I mean, it was a long day on Sunday, and after the first 2 routines, you guys kind of disappointed. Was there was a big gap there? Did any of you seniors kind of step up and say anything to anybody else, or was it just kind of just you guys just rallied together kind of silently, or did somebody step up and say something?
No, I specifically remembered that we went down and got the jazz trophy, and we all kind of went to the corner. We had our moment of just pure disappointment, and then we went up and we took a break to ourselves and we talked to each other. We said, guys, we don't have time for this. Like, we have another routine we have to do. We have to get in that mindset. Whatever you're feeling right now, put that towards Palm and hit those motions and show them a true performance. And that's the whole mindset that we just had to go throughout the rest of the day.
Braylon, I mean, you guys obviously were focused. You guys killed it.
Yeah, I definitely think it was more of a team thing than it was one person telling the rest of the team to be motivated. And I think that made it stronger than anything, that we all kind of had our separate feelings combining to like make a better force, I guess. And I really think that's what pushed us through.
Yeah, of course, you 6 and Carly were on that team 2 years ago, but a lot of kids that were never on, they've never been part of that. A lot of young kids on this team. This is a much different team than it was 2 years ago.
So, like you said, it is such a younger and newer team, and winning this with them has been such a joy because we came onto the team our sophomore year with a bunch of seniors and juniors, and we had a lot of older people being our mentors at the time, and just being able to become their mentors and help them win a state title for themselves, it's amazing, and it truly is an amazing feeling.
And of course, you got nationals coming up. Who wants to tell us a little bit about that?
We have nationals in March, so we'll be preparing until then and like making our routines stronger. So we really hope when we go down there, all of our hard work will pay off.
And of course, that team 2 years ago won a national championship too. So no pressure, right? No pressure.
Do it again.
No, you can't. All right, congratulations. Thank you all so much for taking some time.
Thank you.
All right, well, I appreciate Mary Margaret Brumley and Michelle Neely and everybody with the Madison Central dance program for helping us out there and letting us go over there and talk to those young ladies. I tried to get Mary Margaret to come on camera. She did not want to do it. But if you go back and look on our social media sites, last Sunday, after we filmed this show, after they won the championship, we did go over and get an interview with them. So if you want to go back and look, we did talk to Michelle and Mary Margaret last Sunday. So, but she was adamant that she's like, no, I'm not going to go on again. So talk to the girls. The girls deserve the attention. So that's awesome. And we wish them the best of luck heading down to the Nationals in Florida a little bit next year. So that's all we got for you this week. Like I said, no live show next week, but we will be here every night. I think maybe we'll see how late into the week. We'll keep doing our nightly updates, but we'll try to keep you updated. There's a lot of holiday tournaments and stuff going on, so we will be here to give you all that information as we can. So as always, remember Madison County Sports Night Live, usually about 10:30, 11 o'clock, live on Facebook and all that good stuff. So check us out there. And of course, Richmond R Sports on Twitter, Register Sports on Facebook, RichmondRegister.com. We're everywhere. You can't avoid us. We're everywhere. So as always, appreciate you watching. So we won't see you next week. So I hope you have a great holiday season, and we'll see you in the new year.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote.
Wynn's Auto Detailing Service.
And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Thanks for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show. For more information about all things sports in Madison County, log on to richmondregister.com or on Twitter. And like us, Register Sports on Facebook. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.